I would invite 3 people. The first would be a representative from a company called Autodesk. Autodesk are one of a bunch of companies that develop computer-aided design or CAD software, the 3D nature of it. A representative from Autodesk to come down and talk about just how remarkable a bit of kit it is and what its applications are. Not only is that type of software used in the design, say, of cars, but they're also using it to make the adverts. So much information is going into the CAD, from how it will look, you know, on a particular day, to actually what it would look like when it's driving through certain terrain. A brilliant piece of tech. The second guy I would get to talk is a fellow called Dr. Adrian Boyer, and he developed something called the RepRap, which is a 3D printer, a self-replicating 3D printer. What it's capable of doing is printing its own parts. And when I say print, I don't mean on a sheet of paper. A 3D printer is able to render a piece of a bolt, perhaps, or a nut. So this RepRap is able to build its own parts, and what that says to me, it's instant sci-fi for me. That technology, for one, is amazing. 5 to 10 years ago, a 3D printer would have cost you hundreds of thousands of pounds. You can now get certain models for around £10,000. So the technology is coming down in price, it's becoming more accessible. You know, machines that, if something goes wrong, can build their own parts. So it's simple. You don't have to search through, you know, loads of data to find out what it is. The computer will cross-reference the information itself and build it. And I want that man, Dr. Boyer, to come in and to talk about it. I think that would be a very enlightening speech. I'd be very excited to see him myself, in all honesty. And I'd also bring in Chris Claremont, who was the creator, if you will, if mind serves me correctly, the creator of Sentinels, which he came up with this concept while he was penning the X-Men comics. So have them maybe sit down and talk about the link, perhaps, between science fiction and science reality. You know, I watch a fair amount of science fiction, and you know, you see the kind of stuff they're doing. Realistically, how far are we away from, you know, some of that fiction being fact? My name is Ortis Deley. I am a co-host on The Gadget Show, and in the 2.5 years that I've been involved on the show, I've seen a lot of applications within the 3D arena. The obvious one is 3D entertainment. Going into your cinema and having the surround sound nature of the entertainment, of the sound, the soundtrack, the score, and the noises from the screen, and of course this projection or depth of vision that you get when you don the glasses. So I've experienced that to quite a deep degree. What else I've seen are innovations in the realm of 3D printing, haptic feedback, which is getting to feel what's going on in the virtual world in real terms. So for instance, if I'm driving if I'm in a driving game, I'm sat in a seat and I'm holding a steering wheel that will actually let me know what type of terrain I'm driving on, so I can feel the bumps in the seat, and I can feel the judder of the steering wheel. And also the kind of devices that allow you to use your movement and to see that movement represented in a 3D environment, in a virtual 3D environment. So all that kind of stuff I've become privy to, and feel very blessed to have seen a lot of it at its research and development stage. In the future, with reference to the RepRap, I mean, it's easy. If for a machine to be able to build its own parts is, you know, it's self-explanatory. If something goes wrong, the machine can cross-reference what the problem is, what the part is, bang, print it out. Machines that can build other machines. So on a human level, someone builds the software and creates the machine in the first place, and then just leaves it all up to the machine to replicate itself, build more units. And it's important for us to not be scared. This isn't the Terminator thing coming to reality. We will be fine. Another application is quite a simple one, in my opinion, but using augmented reality in environments such as museums. So perhaps you don a special pair of glasses on entrance to a museum and you can see your artifacts, and as you walk past them, you look at the artifact, or perhaps a card with a special insignia on the wall, and all of a sudden perhaps the artifact comes to life. There is some animation, and you're fed a verbal of what it is you're looking at and what its application or what its history is. So no need to walk around with bits of paper, no need to bend over and read a little plaque. It's all fed directly perhaps onto the lenses in front of you so you can read it, or straight into your ear so you can see it. I'd like to see that. And on a wider scale, in cityscapes, that level of AR is already being done, already being used. The London Museum, to a certain extent, will use GPS to find where you are, and as you look at London on a screen, it will show you points of relevance, and you can find out more about where it is you're standing or what it is you're looking at. I think one of the most mind-blowing current examples of the applications of 3D technology for me is Da Vinci surgery. Now, this is an incredibly expensive piece of technology out there at the moment. In fact, a friend of mine is looking to ways to raise money to provide one for a local hospital. Essentially what it does is it allows a surgeon to perform microsurgery, almost nanosurgery, if you will, by having his movements reduced in scale so that they can perform real delicate operations inside perhaps babies, where the margin for error is so tiny. You can't use your hands. You can't be there physically using your hands. This Da Vinci surgery allows you to use human movements reduced down to a nanoscopic scale to perform remarkable surgery, and that blows my mind at the moment, and I'm hoping that technology comes down in price pretty soon so that it's standard in hospitals across the country.